What's up guys, it's Dan. Welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk. Roll that intro. What is up everyone, welcome back. So today we're looking at something I've wanted to try for a while now. It's been out for a while, but we've never had one in, but we finally got one in so I could try it out. It's the Blackstar Amped 1 amp, pedal, recording interface. It kind of does loads of stuff, which is why I wanted to try one out. So, just so you guys know what I'm using, I've got a PRS Custom 22 with Nantucket 90s in there from Bare Knuckle. I figured that would be a good set of pickups for this video, halfway house between single coils and a humbucker. That's going directly into the Amped 1, and that is going directly into my laptop, which is recording so that you guys can hear what I can hear. So on the pedal itself, you can see a very clean design, very straightforward, very simple. You've got your basic amp control, so you've got gain, bass, middle, treble, master volume, power section there as well for 1 watt, 20 watt or 100 watts. So you can plug it into a traditional cab, 100 watts, very, very loud, 1 watt, perfect for home use, 20 watts, good mid-ground. I did another video with this yesterday, which was with my Fractal, using this as a clean power amp. So you can hear, if you watch that video, how this sounds through a cab. It sounds fantastic. But you've got the voicing here, USA, UK, and flat. Pretty self-explanatory there again. USA preamp voicing, think Fendery kind of tones. UK Voxy style tones. Flat is just flat, so if you're using it as a transparent power amp with a modeler like I did with the Fractal, flat is perfect for that. And then again, valve responses, loads of different valve responses on there. If you've used any of the Blackstar amps in the past, like the ID series, that should all be pretty familiar to you guys. Reverb on and off switch, preset, so you can switch between different presets. And then on the back we've got our power, inputs, various outputs for if you are using this with a traditional cab. USB-C, so you can connect it to software or you can use it as a recording interface. And then on the side here we've got emulated lineouts for plugging directly into another interface if you've got an interface set up already, or if you want to plug directly into a PA system, and then an output so you can plug headphones in, which is what I'll be listening to in a minute. Now, let's take a listen to how this sounds, just using the unit itself so you guys can see how easy it is to use the unit. So I'll pop these headphones on. Let's go first UK, bass, middle, treble. And we can switch between the valve types. Sounds great, feels great, very dynamic. Straight off the bat, feels great. Now, if we put it into flat mode and linear mode, which turns it into a transparent kind of amp, then you can hear, if I put all of that in the middle, that this is what it sounds like, just flat. Very, very lifeless. And again, put it onto UK and EL84s. Instantly brings some life into it. There is, as I say, software that goes with this. We'll look at that in a minute, but just straight away you can see how easy this is to dial in a sound on the pedal itself. Reverb, if you want to add some reverb to bring a bit more life again. And if we head over to USA for those kind of Fendery tones, put it on 6L6s, put some settings on there, and pretty straightforward to make a completely different tone. Let's jump into the software and take a look at the software. So you can see here at the screen that what we get is essentially a copy of the pedal on the screen. This is pretty much one of the first times I've fired this up, so I will try and find my way around it. I would imagine if I change the controls on the screen, you can see it changes the controls on the pedal. These aren't motorized switches or knobs, but if I turn the gain up and down, I can hear in my headphones that the gain is definitely going up and down. Obviously the knobs aren't going to change on there, but anything that you do in the software, you can then save on the actual pedal, so you can really dial in the tone with the software and then save a couple of presets on here. So if you want to take this out and gig it live directly into a PA, or if you want to put it for a traditional cab, then you can dial in your tones here and save it on here, which is very cool. If we go into the settings here and take a look, you can see we can select MIDI channels if you want to use it with a MIDI foot switch. Effects loop, you can change the position of, or if it's series or parallel. And reverb type, we've got a few different reverbs on there, so obviously it's on room at the moment. Spring and plate. And we can change the time and tone of the reverb as well, so we don't want it so long. And then we can change the level of the reverb on the actual unit. All pretty self-explanatory, all pretty easy to use. You've got a few more settings on there as well that you can go through. And then if we go over to here, from what I've seen in other videos over the last year or so, this for me is where this really shines, this bit of software. So if you're using this directly into a PA for recording, then you can really start to dial in things here. You can see we've got some presets already baked into the software. So if we pick something like Airy 4x12, you've got a master volume here, which is great for making sure you're not clipping. Let's go for a fat 4x12. Smooth 4x12. Warm 2x12. Just got to watch that level there. So you can see just with these presets already built in for different style cab tones, it massively changes the sound of what you're getting. Device patches, so on the side there's a little switch here, 1, 2 and 3, so you can save different patches to that switch on the side. So if you want a selection of cabs to play with, depending on what you're doing, what guitar you're using, what sound you want, you can save that and select those with the little switch on the side. And then we've got local patches as well, community patches, so you can download patches to the unit, to the software, and play with other people's patches, or obviously make your own and export them. But obviously you don't have to use the presets, they are just there if you want something just with a click of a button, but you can dial in your own sounds. So if we make this flat, bring that level back down again a bit, and let's dial in a quick sound, EL34s. That's all pretty good to me. Back to the cab section. Now we've got a master EQ section. Now obviously this is going to massively change the tone of what you're getting with the cab, but you can dial in how you really want the cab to sound with this. A little trick to tidy things up is if you bring in a bit of high cut and low cut, there's only so much human ear can hear. Below certain frequencies you can't hear, above certain frequencies you can't hear. So if you use a little bit of low cut and high cut, all of those harsh frequencies that you can't actually hear, you can dial those out, and it just helps with ear fatigue a little bit and just cleans up the tone. So bring in a little bit of low cut and a bit of high cut. Down here we've got the cabinet section. So if we click on this, you see we've got a selection of cabs built into the software where we can choose different style sounds. So we're using UK EL34 bass tone at the moment. So if we go for something like a classic 4x12 UK sound, then you're pretty much getting what you expect from that. A UK sound EL34s for a classic 4x12 cab. It's just a straight up Marshally classic rock tone. Modern UK. Again, just a great classic rock tone. Modern USA 4x12. So I would probably expect this to be a little bit more maybe Messer-like. So if we go back to the amp section, put it on 6L6s, crank the gain up a little bit. Now this isn't like the gainiest pedal in the world. There is an amped 2 and an amped 3 where they are a bit gainier, but we'll see how far we can push this if we bring the bass up a little bit, bring the mids out a little bit, and bring the treble back a little bit and go back to the cab section. So you can still get some gain out of this if you want to, and obviously you can use this with other pedals as well, so you can put other gain pedals in it. But to demonstrate that, what I would imagine is a model of a Mesa Boogie cab. Sounds really cool. And then if you head over to here to the mic section, you can select different microphones. Classic SM57. Condenser. So you can probably start to see, you can really dial in the tones here, as I said, to make the kind of sound that you want to make, on axes, off axes. And then if we head over here, we've got a room, so you can even change the size of the room that the cab and the mic are in. And if you want wide, stereo or mono, let's go for something like a medium dampened room. Let's try something like the 1x12 Vintage USA combo. Let's go for that one. And we'll put a ribbon mic on it. And if we go back into here, we'll put on a nice spring reverb. Great fun and very, very addictive to play with, just for the amount of tones that you can get out of this thing. As I said, it's not the most, it's not the gainiest. So if you're a heavy metal player and you were looking at this as a dual pedal just to do heavy metal, then you are probably not going to get that out of this. But if you look at something like the Amped 3 pedal that they do, that is geared towards like high gain stuff. But for this, especially with this power amp section, which, as I say, you can see more about that in the Fractal Fun video I did. This is a great tool, I think, for, especially at this size, like you can see the size of my hand here, to have this in your backpack or your gig bag as even just a backup for like, something's gone wrong with my main rig, but hey, I've got this, I've got a couple of presets saved on it. Even as a fly rig, if you're someone who tours, flies around to different gigs, this is a fantastic tool to be able to put in your backpack and just have an instantly portable rig. If you're borrowing someone else's cab, or as I say, directly into the PA system. And then if you've got your laptop with you as well, then the amount of tones that you can get out of this is crazy. So yeah, that I guess is a brief overview of the pedal, the features, just how easy it is to use to get a massive variety of sounds. So just the fact that we can go from just crystal clear, clean tones like this, have that saved as a preset, and then just switch to something like, let's go for the vintage oversized UK, and I'll do this on the actual pedal. EL34's gain. Very, very quick and easy to dial in, just to get very incredibly usable tones. Let's take these bad boys off so I can hear myself talk properly. So yeah, I hope that's been a very useful video. I know this has been out for a while, but as I said, I've not had a chance to try one of these yet. And just how easy it is to dial in tones, and the flexibility something like this gives you. Even if you're on the verge of jumping from traditional amps to modeling, but you're not sure, then this is a great halfway house pedal to try, so that you get the benefits of the power amp that's on there, traditional cabs if you want, if you still want to mic up a traditional cab, or if you just want to try going direct to PA, the amount of scope that this gives you. And even if you're on the road and you want to do some recording and you just need some amp tones in your hotel room for recording, if you've got a job to do and you need to get it done but you're not at home, this is a incredibly usable tool. I recommend checking them out. Anyway, I hope that helps. Let me know what you think in the comments, and other than that, I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button. It really does help us grow. See you guys next time. Bye.